Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Entrepreneur TV Middle East. With me up next is Mouloukou Sanoh. He is the founder of Mansa. What a pleasure having you here in our studios at Bridge. And what can I say? Welcome to Abu Dhabi and welcome to Entrepreneur.
Thank you so much for having me.
How's everything?
Amazing.
Good?
Yeah.
So we have to take you all the way back in time. How did Mansa start? Because you do seem young, but your energy, your potential, your ambition is absolutely insane. You've built an empire.
Thank you.
I need to dig your brains now and understand how you've done that. So take us all the way back. Where did this idea even come from?
Thank you so much. So it all started, I would say, probably 10 years ago.
Okay.
I have a personal vendetta against Western Union. So I went to college in Hong Kong, and my parents would send me money to Western Union. And every time I thought I would get Y, but I would get X because the fees were just so high. And then also, it would always close at 6 p.m. And I'm such a late person. I always come late to everything. So there's multiple times where I would come and the Western Union would be closed and I wouldn't be able to get my money. So I always wondered, why doesn't money move like data? Why does it only move within restrictive time periods? And worked in investment banking, worked in venture capital, and started Mansa to transform the way that money moves and to enable global seamless movements of money 24/7 globally.
And I have to ask you this question. Obviously, we do attend fintech summits, and there's, and I'm not going to lie to you, there's thousands and thousands and millions, maybe not millions, but hundreds of thousands of companies that want to deal with financial exchange, right? That want to deal with making seamless transactions, making things faster. How did you kind of exclude yourself from that mass, and how are you different, and how did you succeed? Because competition is crazy. I'm pretty sure there was other people with the same ideas as yours and the same frustrations as yours, right?
Yeah, 100%. I think what's very interesting about ours is from the way that we're actually executing it. Because if you think about global payments in its very mundane form is I give you money here and you give me money there. But if you don't have money there, you can't trade. And if you think about why fees to and from emerging markets are so expensive, it's because there isn't enough liquidity on the other side. So you need to create markets to enable the seamless movement of funds, especially when you look at a Nigerian naira, a Filipino peso, or even an Argentinian peso. There is a lack of financial infrastructure, one, a lack of liquidity, two, and capital controls, three, which makes funds movement extremely restricted. So we use stablecoins to help instantly settle these transactions. And we've done $300 million in volume for some of the largest companies in these emerging markets.
And you do think that liquidity is the only reason why, like, people just don't want to put an extra percentage in their pocket? Banks,
Yeah, 100%. Because I
I
don't
mean,
think,
banks are a huge enemy to us when it comes to these things because we have that double fee
yeah,
that's going in and out at all times, right?
yeah,
Something that I guess crypto is kind of putting away. And
for sure. But I think it's more by design rather.
then the need.
Yes, exactly, right? I mean, banks benefit exactly how you said, right? Because they charge 10% to Africa and 1% to Europe. So there's no incentive for them to change the system. And this is what makes stable coins
And
so
they're ruining
great
that
because it's
entire economy.
permissionless. Exactly.
They're fully placing that entire economy under.
Yeah, exactly. And then this is why stablecoins are so innovative because they're borderless. They move so seamless and they move so instantly. It's just like when you look at mobile money in places like Kenya or in Thailand where you have Grab, or in China where you have WeChat or like Alipay, right? So when there are these restrictive financial conditions, that's where you have the rise of new forms of money that are formless and they're settled much more quick and much more instantly.
Got it. Give me some practical examples now.
Okay.
Like in Africa, let's say I'm a person living, let's say, in Kenya.
Yeah.
How can your service help me?
Yeah.
What does it do?
So we don't work with consumers directly. We're a B2B solution.
Okay.
So essentially it's like the infrastructure. So what would happen is that a customer would go to one of our clients, which is a company like Western Union. They'll tell Western Union, I want to send $1 million from Kenya to China. Western Union let us know.
I want to send $1 million.
Yeah.
Sure, go for it.
It's a small transaction. So yeah, and then Western Union notifies us, and we instantly settle the transaction in China, which at a fraction of the cost which it would have been normally. So what it does is, number one, it reduces Western Union's balance sheet requirements. They don't need to keep money in China. Number two, the customer gets charged way less. And number three, the transaction gets settled instantly rather than waiting the T+3 or the T+5 or rather than being charged the 10% that they're usually being charged.
Okay, cool. Now that I dug your brains a little bit about the way the
Yeah.
service works, I have some founder and mindset growth questions. Since we're entrepreneur, I want to really try dig deep into your, kind of personality and your mantras and the way that you deal with things. So, are you ready for your questions?
Sure, I am.
You don't need to answer in long answers. You could also like shorten them up a bit.
Sounds good.
There's 10 of them. Question number 1. What's the hardest decision you made as an entrepreneur?
I think the hardest decision is always betting on yourself, right?
That
It's
risk.
just having that conviction to believe in yourself when everybody thinks you're crazy, and like when the odds are stacked against you, or where they seem to be stacked against you, right? So I think it's about dreaming up a reality that's not currently in front of your eyes and just executing it no matter what.
Incredible. Good answer. Question number 2. What keeps you up at night as a founder? And you said that you do stay up late.
Yeah, I think it's just the I think what keeps me up at night is the paranoia, right? Like I honestly believe that you should never go to sleep on a win and then you wake up on a loss. So I think you should always be constantly like aware that there are other companies trying to do what you're trying to do. There are other technologies being built. I think it's always just trying to stay ahead and trying to most importantly create value, right? So what's always on my mind every day is how can I make the my customer's life easier and in return create real economic impact, because I don't believe that there is economic freedom while funds are being restricted. So I think if we want these emerging economies to develop, we must first enable the seamless movement of funds back and forth.
You've seen a lot of it in Africa, I feel like.
For sure.
The biggest challenge there. How do you define success as an entrepreneur?
I think it's difficult because I think for me when I set a target, I move like to another target. But like I think like success is just making my customers' life easier. Like I think when you define success as a mantra rather than figures and numbers, I think it becomes a habit. So like I don't really try and focus on like numbers. I never told myself I want to do billions of dollars in volume. I think it's a byproduct of having a great product and having great customers. I feel like everything comes after.
And I guess the most important thing is to follow your passion and have a vision and understand that if money comes, it will come later, right?
For sure.
You need to keep that long-term vision. How do you stay motivated when things get tough?
That's a great question. I think it's
Family, friends,
yeah, like
business partners.
yeah, like I think it's mostly remembering that everything passes and everything's temporary. Hard times, happy times, but it's all part of the journey. You just have to
Fluctuations.
exactly right. Like you just have to embrace it.
Right. This one I like. What was your first big mistake as a founder, and what did they teach you?
I make mistakes every day. I feel like I make incredibly big mistakes every day, but I embrace my mistakes because my mistakes is what enables me to learn. I'm so far away from like what's perfect, but that's what's so beautiful about this journey. It's the constant urge to do better when you achieve something, like you do something else. But the most beautiful thing about it all is the mistakes that I get to make and the lessons that I
That
get
you
to learn. So like I embrace failure and I try to fail on as many things as I possibly can.
Are you the only founder in the company? Do you have partners?
No, like I have a co-founder that keeps
You
me
have
sane.
a founder.
Yeah, it
Okay,
keeps me
good,
sane.
good. Because it's important to have somebody else as well. I don't know how I would manage doing
For
it
sure.
alone.
She's the brains, I'm the beauty.
Ah,
Yeah.
cool, cute. So I have 4 extra questions here for you.
Yeah.
You're gonna pick by random, and then this entire interrogation session will be over for you. Go for it. You have to pick a
I can
question.
pick my random. Okay. All right, this one.
Go for it. Read it
Okay.
out loud.
Are entrepreneurs born or made? Oof.
Were you
That's a-
born or were you made, sir? Tell us.
I think I'm a product of my environment and of my choices.
So made.
Right. So I think I was made, and I honestly believe I was put on earth by God to do this. I think that was always my calling from when I was a kid. So I would say made.
Beautiful. No, but honestly, I feel like when people say born, it's because potentially in our DNA there's certain personality traits that get passed on. It's normal.
For sure.
You might be a bigger risk taker. You might be more of like an ambitious soul rather than an introvert. You might be more,
Yeah.
which is fine. And those are those basics. But I agree with you. Like I do feel like 80-90% of the things that come after, you need to make something out of yourself. Like
For sure.
Ronaldo wouldn't be where he is today if he didn't actually start training. Yes, he was talented, but
100%.
so yeah. Beautiful interview, Mo. Thank you so much for
Thank you so much for your time.
coming over.
I appreciate
Wish
it.
the best of luck, and
Appreciate it.
seeing you very soon on our entrepreneur boards as well.
Hopefully. Very sure. Thank you so much for your
Thank you.
time. I appreciate it.